Hey everyone, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It's been a long time. I wanted to come on and do 2023 forecast readings for you guys. Um, it's been a while. I haven't really been on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel in about a year, but that's because I've been focused on myself. I've been focused on building my legacy and my empire and, improving myself and a lot of self work this year. And so I made that my priority and I put my tarot on the back burner. But I'm reconnecting with it right now. How long I'll be around for, when I'll do it again, I don't know. But I have the time right now and I wanted to do it right now. So yeah, forecast readings and fun stuff today. I was in a fun little hippie store and I came across a bunch of pendulums. And I just was drawn into it and I saw this one in particular and I picked it up and it just started swinging. So um, I'm going to include this in my readings now. You guys, at the end of the reading, will get to ask a yes or no question, and the pendulum will give you your answer. It has a particular way it swings for yes, and a particular way it swings for no, and it swings that way all the time and does not swing in any other direction. So, as have all my pendulums, I've had them in the past. Other fun thing I did today, I bought a brand new deck. It's a tattoo deck. I think it's supposed to be like a Sailor Jerry style tattoo deck, but it's beautiful and in a lot of ways it kind of reminds me of just like a deck of playing cards, like old Italian playing cards, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm just going to jump into your reading for you and I'm going to break this year up into quarters. I am going based on my intuition. Yes, it is supposed to be predictive, but don't look too much into it. You these are meant to be for enlightenment and partly entertainment. Okay, so you are in charge of your life and your destiny and where you're going on your path. Just remember that. So let's just get started and let's look at the first quarter. Start with my new deck because I love it. It screamed at me in the store. It was like, take me home. And I'm like, okay, I'll take you home. So here we go. All right. First quarter of the year. Oh, if I haven't said this already, this reading is for Cancer. First quarter of the year for Cancer. I'm still working it in. Whoop. First quarter of the year for Cancer. So far, we have the Six of Cups up and the King of Pentacles. It's an interesting combination. Let's get a little more clarity on that. The Chariot, okay. I sense like focus and determination going on in the first part of the year. Let's get a little more. Yeah, the Four of Wands. Stability. The King of Pentacles is all about stability here, okay? Right here. King of Pentacles, Six of Wands, or excuse me, no, sorry, Four of Wands, which is the stability. And the Chariot, it's interesting because I feel like the Chariot is a higher arcana echo of the King of Pentacles, and that the King of Pentacles is a very focused individual, focused on their security, their money, they're great business people, and they're great forethinkers as well. The Six of Cups here, though, let's clarify that. How does that fit into this? Six of Cups, it can speak to the past. It can speak to reminiscing about the past, perhaps melancholy in the past, the people we are connected with, family, old friends. It also speaks to sharing of emotions and looking at the past in a balanced way. What's this about? Okay, so something about the past here. It looks to me like whatever was in the past here, okay, there's obviously some rift or some unsettlement or unhappiness, okay? The Six of Swords represents a deliberate decision to move away from what is not making you happy, or just move away from what you know no longer serves you in your space in this time, okay? And perhaps that's why the Four of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Chariot are here, because you know for your own stability, you need to be focused. You need to be aligned with yourself. The King of Pentacles is very balanced, but I want to know a little bit more about what's going on in your past. I'm looking on the bottom of the deck here. You have the Hermit, the Five of Cups, the Seven of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. Ooh, the Lovers. Okay, that's a lot. Something has happened here, something that I feel is causing you grievance, could potentially be causing somebody else grievance. Someone who's extremely close to you. Doesn't necessarily need to be a life partner, boyfriend, husband, wife, but someone of great importance to you. Like, I feel like even your best friends, you can have a breakup. So regardless of the nature of the breakup, it has turned you inwards. Okay, you have made a choice to move on from whatever's not serving you here based on that Six of Swords, because it hurt. This hurt a lot. The Ten of Swords is like, it hurts a lot. It hurts a lot. Like, how could you do that? How could you not be honest with me? Etc., etc. And I feel like there's some deceit here. The Seven of Swords is the Thief card. It speaks to someone being sneaky, sneaking around, maybe just not being honest, not being fully truthful. It's also a card of avoidance. But this Five of Cups and the Hermit card, although your cups have spilt over, there are still other cups standing, and I think you're aware of them, or this Hermit card wouldn't be here. But something in the beginning of the year has you pushing forward in a positive direction. I feel like this is a bit of the past, maybe the tail end of 2022, where you have had to get focused on yourself. But for the beginning of the year, that seems to be the intent. I want to thrive and be stable and be grounded and focused on myself and what's important for me. All right, let's move on to the second quarter of the year. I'm going to switch up decks. It takes a lot to give up the physical things that we enjoy, whether it's a pretty face or a bank account or you know, the more material things about people, the physical things that keep us in depressed, sad emotions. I feel like you're not there. You're not there. I think you've chosen to overcome that. So what's in the second quarter of the year? The Ten of Swords, the Seven of Cups, two sevens. How many sevens we got up here? You now have, where did I see it? Yeah, you now have 3 sevens on the board. 7, 7, 7. All right, you had it here in Swords, Cups, and now Wands. Sevens to me are dealing with difficult situations. You could be spending a good part of your time in the second quarter kind of looking back and examining everything that happened. You also have the Three of Pentacles. Let's clarify further. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. Strength. Judgment. Knight of Cups. There's the Five of Cups again, but followed up with Pentacles. Okay, so you had all these swords and cups in the past, which are like cutting deep into emotions. Okay. I think you're still assessing it at the first quarter of the year, but I think you're at a place now where you realize that you need to build stable foundations for yourself. In the physical, I talked about unhealthy physical attachment in the first part of the year, and maybe that's something that's gripping you now is, these attachments that we have to things other than ourselves. They can cause a lot of heartache, but when we are attached to ourselves within ourselves, these more difficult situations become easier. And I think a lot of it has to do with, changing your perspective. I think you're going to start to get focused a lot more on yourself and what you have around you to help yourself physically. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? There's still this element of melancholy, but again, perspective. I think it's important to remember that these emotions and these traumatic experiences that we go through, for every traumatic experience we have or uncomfortable experience we have, we grow. And as you age and you get older, you look back and you realize what a blessing those hard lessons were, because you are such a stronger person for it. I think that's an important thing to note here. Let's move on to the third quarter. What is happening for Cancer in the third quarter? Let's look at some of these cards here. All right, the Chariot, the Eight of Wands, the King of Wands, the Fool, the Four of Cups. There's the Hanged Man again. Perspective. Okay, what's your perspective? In the third quarter of the year, I think it's important to note to you that do not be so held on to what you don't have, okay, that might be from the past. Don't be so held on to that, because if you are and you don't change your perspective, you may very well be missing out on something that is meant for you, a new beginning. You may miss messages coming in, whether it's phone calls, text messages, or someone just talking to you. Are you present? I sense in the second quarter of the year, you're going to kind of feel scattered. And so I ask you, in your third quarter of the year, are you present? Are you receptive to the messages coming in from around you, wherever they are coming from? Up, down, the radio, music, tarot. Are you receptive? I think you need to be hypervigilant and aware of what's going on around you and observant. You have the Strength card here again in your second and your third quarter. It's important to not be too hard on yourself. I think that's going to be a big lesson this year, is being kind to yourself. Okay? This has to do with emotions, the bubbling up of emotions. How we defend ourselves. Are we defensive? I also think sometimes the Strength card, when we think of the lion, you think of animalistic primal behavior as constantly looking for risk or a threat. But this lady here, which is you, okay, the lion trusts her explicitly, okay? The lion is within you, and it's about learning to trust yourself with your emotions. That has a lot to do with your intuition too, about yourself. So start listening to yourself. How are you handling your emotions? This is going to be big. The bottom of the deck. The Emperor. The Nine of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands. The High Priestess. The Eight of Swords. Yes. Intuitively going inward for yourself. There are things, very wonderful things, the Emperor, okay? Emperor energy, whatever that is within yourself, within another person. The Nine of Pentacles, which is your independence and standing on your own 2 feet, okay? You may be missing these wonderful things if you are sitting in this Queen of Swords. Okay, Queen of Swords has been through a lot. She's experienced a lot, as we saw in the first quarter of your year. A lot of loss, a lot of lessons, right? It's really important to, and sometimes, you know, she can sit here. So the Queen of Swords, she can get wrapped in her head quite a bit. And as I said, the lesson here for the year is like starting to trust your emotions and not getting wrapped up in your head. Assessing your emotions. First, identify the emotion. Then identify how it got there and how you feel about it. You'll become more in tune with yourself. This is going to be an emotional, Seven of Cups again. Assessing who you are, what you want. This emotional assessment. All right. Let's move on to the 4th quarter of the year, and I'm going to use all the decks because I only have 3. I don't have 4 here with me. What is going to go on for Cancer in the 4th quarter of the year? That's enough. What is happening in the 4th quarter for Cancer? The King of Cups. The Fool. The Ten of Pentacles. Justice. The Nine of Swords. The Three of Cups. The Knight of Wands. And the Eight of Swords. 8 and 9 of Swords, this is about being stuck in your head. The stories we tell ourselves, whether it has to do with our own self-confidence or, you know, that we're not good enough or whatever it is. It's really important that you know that there is a lot of good things coming to you, especially when it has to do with the relationships in your life, based on all of this over here. King of Cups, the Fool, the Ten of Pentacles, and Justice. There is a huge opportunity coming in for you at the end of the year that's going to make you feel secure physically. I feel like it's going to be like physically about yourself. Okay? I feel like you're gonna have relationships or relationship with someone who, you know, there's gonna be new beginnings. Maybe with someone new, maybe with a group of people. But part of that, okay, and same with here too, this is fiery, adventure-y energy with other people. Okay, like the world is your oyster kind of energy, but just remember, the most important thing to know, okay, is not to be caught in your head. Change your perspective around. Be grateful. I saw this like video the other day of this woman, and I don't know, anyone who's on my Facebook maybe saw it because I posted it, but this woman came on and she said, you know, if a celestial being or God or whoever asked me if I would like to go to Earth for literally a blip in time and experience every emotion that I could possibly experience, would I want to do that? And she was like, yeah, I would want to do that. And that kind of humbled her into the state of feeling grateful that she had the capacity to feel that. There's so much to be learned from our emotions if we really like put them under a microscope and look at where our behavior stems from, why we get trapped in our heads. You have a lot of good stuff coming to you at the end of the year. You got a lot of good stuff coming to you the second half of the year too. But there's, the second and third, you're going to be working on yourself a lot. All right, Cancer, that's what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Oh, yes, the pendulum. I'm starting to try and remember this. So here we go, my pendulum. So here's the thing with this. You get to ask a yes or no question and the pendulum will answer it. If it is a yes answer, the pendulum will swing sideways like this. And if it is a no answer, it'll swing in a clockwise motion like so. All right, so bear with me. I don't do this. This thing does it on its own, okay? Just wait. Wait for it to be very still. All right, go ahead and ask your question. Sometimes it takes time to speed up. Just giving it a chance. All right, there it goes. Clockwise motion. The answer is no. All right, that's your reading. Enjoy your new year. Best of luck. Lots of love from me. Talk soon.